My name is Brandice Kimbrell. I'm an agency owner with Symmetry Financial Group. Very grateful to be so. I live outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. I grew up in Florida with my family, my 3 kids, my husband, and came to Symmetry almost 10 years ago. I was a restaurant manager. I'm working about 70 hours a week, providing for so many other families and being able to celebrate all of their milestones and missing out on all of mine. A gentleman by the name of Jimmy Spieldiner introduced me to this company back in 2015. He was actually my old general manager in the restaurant business, and we worked together for years. He met a lot of really amazing people, Brian Delaney, Edward Pritchett, the founders of this company. And he saw something special. He saw something different. And he called me because he knew my work ethic. He knew what I wanted to be. He knew what I wanted to become. He knew that I wanted a better life for my kids, my family. So he called me and he told me it was life insurance. I'm like, what are you talking about? Life insurance, that doesn't sound great at all. But he introduced me to this company, and once I got to know everybody, I was in. All chips in the middle. Yeah, it was probably the first couple of weeks were probably the hardest, especially when you're getting in your car and you kind of don't know what you're doing, right? And you've got this nice long drive out to your territory, back when we used to do it that way. And you weren't sure what you were going to be coming home with. What kind of day were you going to be coming home with, right? And there were quite a few days where I came home with what we call a big fat goose egg, right? One of the most important experiences that I had during that time was the reflections that I had with my mentor, being able to talk my day. And what got me so excited was to be able to apply everything that I learned. So there was probably quitting moments every day for the first couple of weeks. But then when I was 20 minutes away from home, it just washed it all away and got really excited to continue learning and continue growing so that we can get this thing figured out. When I came to Symmetry, I had absolutely no experience in life insurance. I was pretty scared. I had no idea what I was going to do. And I put all the chips in the middle of the table, but I also had my family to consider. So one of the things that I was a little defiant about in the beginning was the personal development and the self-care. As a mother of 3, it's really difficult. I wasn't raised to think of myself. I was raised to think of my kids, and not that that's anything wrong. As Brian showed me that it was going to be really difficult for me to pour into others, including my family, if my cup wasn't full, right? So changing my mindset around self-care and personal development was a huge shift for me, because it's not only made me a better agent, hopefully a better leader, definitely a better parent, a better wife, a better daughter. Really great shift, something that I never thought I would really want to embrace, but now it's a lifestyle, can't live without it. So with doing anything worthwhile, there's going to be a struggle, right? John Maxwell taught us that everything worthwhile is uphill. And a lot of the things that people don't see is what happens behind the doors. We go to these events, right? We talk about all of the amazing things that are going on in our business, the things that are going on in our lifestyle. But what they don't see is when that 14th person in a row told you no, right? And you got to go take a walk. Or when you write really great policy for a family that you thought was just going to be in place forever. And then next thing you know, they change their mind and there's a charge back, right? You don't get to see those things that are behind those closed doors, and those struggles right there are the ones that set you up for the future successes, right? Because success and failure aren't on two opposite sides. You have to get through the failure in order to get to the success, right? So behind closed doors is really important, and I will add that your support system for behind closed doors is so pivotal in this business. My husband understands this vision. My children understand this vision, right? So when mom can't go to a softball game, or mom can't go to this event, right? Or we're at a conference like this and I can only talk to them for 5 minutes, they get it and they see all the struggles. So having those people behind you sharing the vision that you have will help you through the struggles that a lot of people don't get to see. When I first started, even though I attended some conferences and some meetings, was around some really successful people in this business, I wish I understood how good it is on the other side of that struggle, like the lifestyle that people get to live right now, like because they become agency owner, or because they've built an agency and they've broken other people out as agency owners, they made it to the top of the company. You would do it 10 times over because of how good it is. And I didn't get that at first. I wish I would have felt that a little bit sooner. I think I would have worked a little bit harder, right? And I would have done some things a little differently if I understood really what was at stake and the magnitude of that. One of the things that's so special about this business is the people that you get to meet. I remember when I first met Brian Delaney, it was at a very small corporate overview that we did in Florida, which is where I lived at the time. He idolizes in this business because of the progress that he's made. I sat across from him at a table at a Topgolf and had a beer. One of Brian's favorite things to do is break bread, just having a natural conversation and be able to connect. Brian is a connector, right? And I don't exactly know what words he said to me, but it was somewhere along the lines of like, girl, when are you going to come do this with us? Right? Like, what are you beating around the bush for? Right? And right then I felt like he was going to be a person that was going to be really pivotal in my life in ways that I had absolutely no idea. The things that he has done for this agency, for the company, Brian, do things that you wouldn't think that anyone would do for someone. Just the care and compassion and the radical generosity that Brian Delaney has taught me. I just hope that I can follow in his footsteps and stand on these shoulders of these giants like Brian does as well, and bring more of Brian into my life so more of it can go out. Like there needs to be more Brians in the world, and if he can create a little bit of himself in all of us, which I think he's doing, then I think we're on a pretty good road. Okay, so life is very different now. Like I had mentioned, I came from a restaurant background. So if any of you have worked in hospitality, it was 70 hours a week. I was in the management position. So 70 hours a week, and I was helping everyone else celebrate their milestones, and I was missing out on all of mine, right? So when Jimmy called me, I was looking for something. I just didn't know what it was. Okay, and it was the right thing at the right time from the right person, right? All the ingredients were there. And the thing that I wanted most was to be a present parent. That's the thing I wanted most. My oldest son, who's now 21, I can't even believe that. He was 9 at the time. I had a 4-year-old, I had a 2-year-old, and I never got to see them. I never got to spend time with them. And the thing that clicked for me was the lifestyle that Symmetry was able to provide, because I saw so many parents. I saw so many mothers and fathers being active in their children's lives. When you had time, you spent time with your kids. It was, no, I make time for my kids. And that was the thing that Jimmy knew that I wanted most, is I wanted to be there. I'm that mom, right? I'm the PTA mom. I'm going to go to all the things. I'm going to volunteer. I work in the concession stand for football, for marching band, right? My daughter and my son now, fast forward almost 10 years, right? I don't get to miss out on stuff. My daughter is showing livestock. My son is showing livestock. My oldest son is actually here with me in Denver to experience the city. We're going to go to a baseball game tonight. Like, life is 100% different than it used to be. And I wish I would have known how good it felt when I first started, right? Because I would have worked a little harder, a little faster. So the truth is that every single thing about my life is different since I came to Symmetry. Okay, ladies, I'm talking to you. I'm also talking to you guys who maybe have some ladies in their life, right? This is very worthwhile work. What we get to do is so impactful. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Women are awesome at this. If you want to know more, make sure to connect with some of the women here at Symmetry and join this sisterhood that we have here. It is amazing. I get to be friends with so many impactful and influential leaders in this company, and I'm so grateful for their partnership, their friendship, and can't wait to see you at the next event.